This is unquestionably the age of the reboot/revival, and these are just a few more well-known TV names you probably didn't realise have recently been added to the ever-growing list of small screen returns. So I am Gareth here from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 TV shows you didn't know were returning. Number 10, Bewitched. Since it flew off into the sunset all the way back in 1972, a number of remakes of the iconic sitcom about a witch settling down with an ordinary bloke have all been attempted. But a straight-up reboot of Bewitched has never really come to fruition, despite the likes of NBC, CBS and ABC all taking stabs at it this century. Now though, it finally looks like a Bewitched comeback of sorts is on the cards, with The Hollywood Reporter reporting earlier this year that Sony Pictures Television Kids are looking to bring the series back to screens as an animated show. The well-known comedy famously boasted animated opening titles back in the day, of course, and this return to the world of witches at home would focus on Samantha and husband Darren's 13-year-old daughter Tabitha as the youngster tries to manage her middle school and magical academy lives. Hannah Montana meets Harry Potter was how the show was described. So expect bucket loads of magic, blonde wigs, and evil dark lords with serpent pets, I guess. Or maybe not. Number 9, Everybody Still Hates Chris. Chris Rock's semi-autobiographical riot known as Everybody Hates Chris was ultimately cancelled after its 4th season in 2009. But the creator, inspiration and narrator of the show still seemed happy with the conclusion they created, noting around that time that the ending of Chris dropping out of school and waiting to find out his GED results might not be a bad way to go. However, fast forward a decade or so, and Rock has finally been convinced to step back into his past. Deadline reported in 2022 that not only will this surprising reboot of the series also be an animated one, but that it will go by the new name of Everybody Still Hates Chris. Genius. Rock will also be back in the narrator's chair for the show, though it's still not known exactly when these half-hour adult animated chunks of Rock will be released at this current moment in time. Number 8, Fawlty Towers. Even after Basil Fawlty himself went as far as to state in 2009 that the cast would never return for a remake due to it likely being good but not very good after the bar was set so high by those original 2 seasons, it appears there is still some life in a Fawlty Towers reboot yet. It was reported in February that John Cleese would be officially returning to the lead role after 40+ years away for a new season. Not only that, the comedy legend would also be penning the script and starring alongside his daughter Camilla Cleese in the revival. Said long-awaited next chapter in the Fawlty story will focus on the antisocial Basil trying to deal with the modern world. You can see it now. Cleese would then add in a July chat with Style that this sitcom return would likely be set in the Caribbean, because why not? But he was also quick to note how they actually only possess half an idea for the Fawlty comeback at this stage. Well, it's a start at least. Now I've got a question for you. What's your favourite sitcom of all time? Is it Fawlty Towers or something else? Let me know in the comment section right down below this video. Number 7, Stasi and Hutch. The legendary duo of Stasi and Hutch are also potentially going to be speeding back into people's lives very soon. But rather than have another set of lads step into the shoes of the titular police detectives, played by Paul Michael Glaser and David Soul in the original series, Fox's modern reimagining has opted to change things up a little. THR reported in February that the network is developing a female-led reboot of the iconic action program. This time around, Sasha Starsky and Nicole Hutchinson will be the stars of the show, and the series will focus on the 2 detectives solving crimes in Desert City, whilst the pair also stay true to their friendship and quote-unquote their awesomeness. And if that wasn't enough of a reason to get excited about this idea from writers and showrunners Sam Sclaver and Elizabeth Peterson, the pals will also be attempting to figure out exactly who sent their fathers to prison for a crime they didn't commit 15 years before the events of the show too. How mysterious. Number 6, King of the Hill. Futurama isn't the only adored Fox animated series Hulu have revived recently. The 13-season adult treasure that was King of the Hill is also returning to screens via the streaming service. Creators Mike Judge and Greg Daniels had actually been discussing a potential reboot of the hit show that ended in 2010 with Fox in 2017. And despite these conversations not leading to any official announcement of the long-awaited return of the Hill clan, Judge and Daniels did admit to still having a pretty funny plan for a potential revival a few years later. Well, it looks like that idea is now very much heading to screens at some point rather soon, with Judge returning as Hank and the likes of Stephen Root, Lauren Tom, Pamela Adlon, and the late Johnny Hardwick also reprising their parts for this newest season, with Hardwick completing his recording on a couple of episodes prior to his death in August. The voice of Bill, Stephen Root, also told Screen Rant in April that the latest installment would involve a little time jump, following on from Daniels noting to Collider in 2022 that a time jump so the characters are a little older was a part of the revival plan. So after almost 15 years away, it seems King of the Hill fans are about to be reintroduced to an older version of the beloved cast, dealing with this balmy modern world. Number 5. The Flintstones Bedrock. An entirely unexpected new project is possibly about to make its presence felt in Bedrock. In the wake of unleashing a cocaine bear in theaters earlier this year, it was announced that Elizabeth Banks will be starring in the latest potential Flintstones spin-off series, named after the Stone Age town this legendary family call home, with the show recently earning a pilot presentation. Banks, executive producing and voicing the role of Pebbles, will lead a cast boasting the likes of That Man Again, Stephen Root, and Amy Sedaris in a Fox adult animation comedy series that will hop back into the Flintstone family's lives 20 years later. Here, old Fred will be on the verge of bringing an end to his working life, and Pebbles will be in her 20s and focusing on her own career. And the show will also look at how the older family deal with the arrival of the Bronze Age. The potential of a cocaine Dino the Dinosaur alone makes this one a must-see primetime event. Number 4. Married with Children. 25 years on from Married with Children's initial run coming to an end in 1997, it was announced in 2022 that the Bundy Bunch will all also possibly be revived in the animation realm. Original cast Katie Sagal, Ed O'Neill, David Faustino, and Christina Applegate are all currently attached to the project that's being pitched to various interested networks and streaming services too. And if you're wondering why the gang didn't simply decide to reunite for another live-action season of the show, the cast's packed schedules made the idea of a full-blown on-camera reunion a tough one to pull off. Going animated makes it a bit easier for the stars involved to fit the show around their other work, and it will also ensure that Applegate can be a part of the hotly anticipated Married with Children comeback, after the star noted to Vanity Fair how she will likely be sticking to voiceover work going forward after being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2021. Simply put, it looks like some animated love and marriage could very much be on the horizon. Number 3. Ally McBeal. An unanticipated follow-up to the Fox comedy legal drama known as Ally McBeal was also confirmed to be in development last year. ABC are the network looking to revive the Cajun Fish law firm for a new generation, focusing this new season on a young black woman joining that team not long after finishing law school. This character would also be the child of the titular McBeal's roommate Renee Raddick from that original run. It's also not known at this stage whether McBeal star herself, Callista Flockhart, would be up for returning for this sequel project, though she has reportedly been approached to appear as her character and executive produce. The dramedy series, one that contained the occasional surreal dancing baby sequence, was one of the biggest shows in town during its initial 5-season spell on TV. So if the sequel, written and executive produced by mixed-ish showrunner Karen Gist, recaptures even just a little bit of the magic that made McBeal an award-winning sensation, ABC could be onto a winner. Number 2. Matlock. Similarly to the Stasi and Hutch revival mentioned earlier, CBS have also opted to gender swap their titular leading character, with the legendary Kathy Bates stepping into the Matlock shoes made famous by Andy Griffith. The show, inspired by the original program that focused on the brilliant but somewhat bad-tempered defense lawyer Ben Matlock, involves Bates' Madeline Matlock, who openly notes in the show's under-the-radar trailer that her name is Matlock like the old TV show, joining up with a prestigious law firm. From here, the masterful septuagenarian lawyer then goes about winning many a case, and shining a light on corruption as the series unfolds. The aforementioned trailer alone suggests that even those who weren't brought up on the tales of Ben Matlock dominating the courtroom will be lured in by Bates' quick-witted, cheeky and commanding work as the wise, rebooted version of the titular attorney. So keep a lookout for this intriguing revival landing on CBS at some point in 2024. And number 1, The American Office. The internet collectively lost its mind recently when Puck News reported that the show's executive producer and co-creator Greg Daniels would be returning as showrunner for a potential reboot of the much-loved US Office. However, it is worth noting how Matt Belloni, the journalist who initially broke the story, has since clarified that this is a development deal, with Daniels being close to agreeing to a return and seeing if he could land on an idea worth making before the recent writer's strike kicked off. Now the strike is over, he'll likely just pick up where he left off and close said deal. And while NBC and Universal Television have understandably been interested in trying to chuck out another slice of hilarious office entertainment for years, Belloni has also stressed that this is still a ways away. Will this potential return to Dunder Mifflin also see the likes of Steve Carell, John Krasinski, Rainn Wilson and the rest of the paper company misfits make comebacks? Or will Daniels look to completely restock this potential rebooted remake with a collection of bizarre new faces? All will no doubt be revealed soon enough, probably. And that's our list. Know of any other TV shows people didn't know were returning? Well, let us know all about them in the comments section right down below, and don't forget to like, share and click on that subscribe button while you are down there. Also, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, then please head on over to whatculture.com and find some more fantastic articles just like the one this video you're watching right now is based on. I've been Gareth from whatculture.com. Thank you as always for checking out this lovely video today. Hopefully we'll see you again very soon, but in the meantime, just be good to yourself.